For years, Adobe software was a must-have for creative professionals. But there was one big problem. It was ridiculously expensive. A single Photoshop or Premiere Pro license could cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And the worst part? Every time a new version came out, you had to pay all over again. But what if software wasn't something you owned, but something you accessed like a service? That's when Adobe made a radical decision that would forever change the digital economy. Back then, Adobe sold its software as a one-time purchase, but there was a massive issue. Most users couldn't afford to upgrade, so they either stuck with outdated software, or worse, they pirated it. At its peak, piracy accounted for up to 60% of Photoshop users. Every year, Adobe was losing millions of dollars to illegal downloads. And the more Adobe tried to fight piracy, the more users found new ways to crack their software. Their own pricing model was turning customers into pirates. Adobe had two choices: keep fighting piracy or completely reinvent itself. In 2012, they made a move no one expected. They eliminated software licenses entirely. Instead, they launched Creative Cloud, a subscription-based model where users would pay a monthly fee to access Adobe tools. It was a huge risk. No major software company had ever done this before. Would users accept the idea of renting their software instead of owning it? Or was Adobe about to destroy itself? The reaction was instant. Users were furious. For years, they were used to buying their software once and keeping it forever. Now they were being forced to pay every month. The internet exploded with criticism, forums were filled with angry customers, and Adobe's stock wavered. Inside Adobe's offices, tension was high. Executives held emergency meetings. Some feared they had made the worst mistake in company history. But one thing was clear: they had already crossed the point of no return. Adobe had burned the bridges. The only way out was forward. At first, people resisted, but Adobe knew something that most didn't. Users didn't just want software, they wanted a constantly improving toolset. So they built Creative Cloud with these core principles. Continuous updates. No more waiting years for the next version. Improvements were released monthly. Cross-device access. You could start a project on your computer and finish it on your tablet. AI-powered tools. Features like content-aware fill and automated color correction made editing faster than ever. And then, the numbers proved Adobe right. Revenue doubled in just a few years, and soon other companies followed. Adobe didn't just save its business, it defined the modern subscription model. Spotify, Netflix, Microsoft Office 365, all of these platforms followed the path that Adobe pioneered. Today, nearly every major software company has adopted the subscription model. Adobe didn't just change its business, it changed the way software is sold forever. But how did Adobe pull off one of the riskiest business transformations of all time? If you want to understand the strategy behind their reinvention and how they turned a crisis into a trillion-dollar trend, we highly recommend Adobe Creative Cloud, the business model that changed the industry. This book reveals the business strategies that made Adobe a tech giant. Find it now through the link in our bio. What do you think? Are subscriptions the future of software, or do you prefer the old model? Let us know in the comments. And if you love stories of innovation and disruption, hit like, share, and subscribe to Innovators Path.